On the screen with me is a sample accessibility audit report in Excel spreadsheet format. So here we can see the issue title, the issue description, the applicable code for the issue, the environment that produced the issue, the associated WCAG success criterion, the URL where the issue was found, the recommended fix, and some other helpful information. All of this information is needed so that we can work towards full WCAG conformance. So this is what we need. We need the actual accessibility audit report because this report contains all of the accessibility issues that were identified on our digital asset for a given scope. So this is what we need for full WCAG conformance, and that's what clients are after. Now, the problem is that most accessibility platforms are based around scans. So they're based around scan results. So we get nice analytics and data visualizations and percentages and pie charts, but they're all based upon scan results, and we're not working towards 100% score on a scan. We're working towards full WCAG conformance. So this is why it is so important to use an audit-based accessibility platform, because we need to work from the actual accessibility issues that were identified in the audit. So I'm going to scroll down the Excel spreadsheet right now for effect. There are dozens of issues. In fact, this audit report has over 100 issues. So it's very, very important that we keep track of all of these issues and we know whether or not they've been fixed, whether they've been validated, the progress, the state of the issues, whether they've been worked on or not. So we need to work from this report. But again, most platforms are based on scan results. It's not based on your actual audit report. So I'm going to tab to Accessibility Tracker right now. And when we're on the page we're currently on, we're on the project page, and I'm going to upload the audit report that we were just looking at. So you can't see it on the screen because a new window has opened up, but I'm going to upload the same accessibility audit report that we were just looking at. So here, all of the data is mapped, all of the column data is mapped inside of Accessibility Tracker. It's been mapped successfully. And I'm going to go ahead and process the data. So I'm going to save the issues to the project. This will take a few seconds. What's happening now is all of the data in the Excel spreadsheet is being extracted and it's being uploaded to Accessibility Tracker. So now I'm going to go to the issues page. And then once we're inside of the issues page, we're going to see the audit report transposed inside of Accessibility Tracker. So now I'm scrolling down the project page, and here we have really the audit report now online, and now everybody can work from this centralized hub. So before I get to why this is helpful, it is so important now that we're using a platform that's based on the actual audit report and not scan results. So scan results have been what the market has traditionally sold as this is exactly what you need to track accessibility and compliance, which is completely wrong. We're not after 100% score on a scan. We are after full WCAG conformance. So we need to track all of those accessibility issues that are inside of our audit report. And now we can do this because Accessibility Tracker is an audit report based platform. So it's an audit based platform. And here we can see that we have this same audit spreadsheet, but now it's online. And so now we can get to where this is helpful. It's so much easier to track issues versus adding columns to an Excel spreadsheet. So let's go back to the Excel spreadsheet. We go back to the spreadsheet and let's say we add a column for assigning a team member. So we have team members assigned, and then we have a column for validator feedback. And we can add additional columns for additional information, but now we've got to update the spreadsheet every time we make a change, and we have to make sure that the changes are kept, and it becomes very, very cumbersome and difficult. There's a side project involved in just maintaining the accuracy and keeping the spreadsheet up to date. Now we don't need to do that because the report is inside of Accessibility Tracker. It's centralized into one hub. We can assign issues to team members. So here we have an assigned to column inside of the transposed audit report. We can assign to a team member. We can invite other team members. We can track the status of each issue. So this is really, really important, right? So let's say that the issue has been fixed by our team, we can select completed. And let's say that the issue has actually been validated by an external validator. We can now select validator, and now we know the status of each issue, and we want to get to validated for each issue because then we know the issue has been resolved. This means everything. This is not only accuracy and completeness, but it's also efficiency. This is so important. One other feature I'm going to mention is that we have two prioritization formulas that are built inside of this online audit report. So remember, we started with the spreadsheet. Now we have everything online, and now we can easily prioritize issues because we can sort by one of two prioritization formulas. One of the prioritization formulas is user impact. The other is risk factor. So risk factor is concerned with the ongoing website accessibility litigation inside of the United States. User impact is concerned with the issues that present the most overall impact on the most number of users. So if the score is high, then it's going to have a very high impact on users overall. So these two prioritization formulas are built inside of Accessibility Tracker. So now you can instantly prioritize your issues within seconds, and a generalized it's not a generalized scoring system. Like we can see here that the first issue is marked as high and it's scored at 92. So this isn't high, medium, and low. This is an exact score. So it's so important that we upload our audit report and we have an audit-based platform. Now, I'm going to show you the AI component of this because this is where the efficiency really starts to compound. So we looked at the overall audit report, but now I'm in the single issue view. So now we get all of the granular detail that we have in the audit report. Now we bring everything forward inside of this single issue view. So here we can see the applicable code, and this is just all extracted data from the audit report. We can see the issue description, we can see the URL, and so on. What I'm going to do now is analyze this issue with AI. And let's say that we have a developer who's working on this issue and they don't understand exactly what's going on. Why is this an accessibility issue? Well, here we have one AI tool, simplify and explain. Let's go ahead and generate analysis. So the simplified answer here, the explanation is going to be streamed using AI. So here we have, what is this issue in simple terms? Why does it matter for users with disabilities? How does it affect different types of users? This is so important. And the difference between simply using ChatGPT or Google Gemini or another LLM is that the AI has access to all of your audit report data. So now your team can work using AI and putting AI as close as possible to the remediation process. So let's say you have a developer who is brand new to accessibility. They don't know what's involved, or they don't understand why this is an issue or what they need to do. Now they have these different AI tools to help them, and the AI tools have access to all of the audit report data. This is extremely helpful. This saves a lot of time and it saves a lot of money, not only from your team side, right? Not only saving hours for your team, but also saving hours in technical support. So very, very helpful here. And I'm going to refresh, and we're just going to use one more to show just how helpful this can be. I'm going to select the detailed technical answer tool. And so here's where developers can really get help with the coding aspect of this. So we have the analysis of the current implementation, the specific problems identified, detailed step-by-step technical recommendations, improved code snippets. So here, this is really going to help your team with fixing the issues, and it's going to get your project completed sooner, help you meet deadlines, etc. Also, there's just the project momentum factor. When you start to remediate and fix issues sooner and you start making real progress on your report, which you can track the progress inside of Accessibility Tracker, as you start to tick up and you move from 10% to 25% to 50%, that helps the project get done just in and of itself, because then there's project momentum. It's not stagnant. And then when you're working from audit spreadsheets, it can stagnate just because it can become unclear how far along you are with certain issues, and you have to go back and manually add in that information for each issue in the report. So this is very helpful. But this is the reason I made this video. What's so important to start off with is that we have an audit-based platform. And this is something that I haven't seen in the market. If it is available, It's not emphasized. We don't see anybody stating we have an audit-based accessibility platform. But what we see is scans. We see platforms that are built around scans, and that's not what we're after. That in this market, that is the wrong that scans are just really something for practitioners. For the end users, for the clients need to work from an audit report. And now there's a platform where you can easily work from an audit report. You can all your analytics, all of your data visualizations, all of the graphs, they're based on actual real data and not scan results. So I will link to accessibility tracker in the description. And if you would like to use a sample accessibility audit report, just search Google for accessible.org sample audit report.